You know, when a lot of kids were like at the age of 13, 14, having social lives after school, I was going back to my bedroom and I had my easel and my piano. And that's what I was doing. I was painting. I just wanted to practice my art and my music. My name's Stuart McAlpine Miller and I'm here at Castle Fine Art to introduce my new works. David Bowie, It's a God-Awful Small Affair, and Amy Winehouse, I Said No, No, No. Amy Winehouse has kind of entered into a part of culture quite quickly, basically, you know, and the whole idea of like Winehouse and what she created over the short time that she actually existed, she was exceptionally unusual. The way she approached her music was like incredibly unusual. She had a retro look about her, so she was like creating a contemporary idea with a backdrop to maybe an historical look, perhaps. She captured the absolute imagination of like a new culture. She brought people together, and she did it with a power and a powerful approach to her music. And also, she was kind of harked back to the whole idea of what a musician, rock star, would have been in the past. I think it was very appropriate, like using the Catwoman, like with Amy Winehouse. I mean, she designs herself based upon almost like a cat-like. She's got very feline features, like the way she would design her eyes, etc. She almost like portrays that image of this very strong, powerful, but slight demons happening there, like perhaps in the background. So that was an easy association to use, especially with Amy. It just works. I mean, the whole look of her and the Catwoman, the whole idea of Catwoman, that's Amy Winehouse. If you look at Bowie, the way he developed his career, he was like a social butterfly basically. So I've used the ideas of butterflies within the idea, so it morphs from one thing into another. And Bowie did that throughout his entire career. He was an example of someone who knew he wanted to be something. Music was something maybe he found, it wasn't as obvious in first choice, but when he found music, that was calling her, I suppose. And so it's the idea of turning one thing into another and developing and growing and then just flying with it. And that's what Bowie did. Well, I mean, that specific image has been very well recorded through Bowie. I think that was his most famous image. And artists have used that image throughout history, basically, since it was created. And it's always very difficult to actually try to create an idea based on something which is so very well recognised, but do something different with it. And I think the nature of what I try to do is I'm not trying to make something very original or unusual. I'm just doing it based upon how I would naturally see this character. And juxtaposing things and taking things out and creating negative ideas, for me, was just a natural process of bringing this idea with Bowie together. And I think it's important to look at an image that people naturally recognise, but actually confuse that image by doing something very different with it. And I think with that piece especially, I've created something which is very different. And hopefully people will accept that it is very different, but still recognisable. So what he did was he boxed them in an idea of this is me, whether it was Ziggy Stardust, Alive Insane and moving on, but then he got out of that box and did something very different. So yeah, the box idea is I'm here at the moment, but I'm not controlled by these kind of forces. You might think I am, but there's a lot more to me. I think with the people I've portrayed so far within this whole series of work, they're fascinating characters. They're honest about what they do, and they're true to their art and true to their art form. Unfortunately, there's a lot of things that happen within music and within the whole musical aspect of the society that they exist. It's not honest and it's not true. But if you look back at these people, this was their life. They actually truly believed in their craft and their art, and they wanted to get better and develop who they are. They wanted to work together. They wanted to create great things. These people like have to be celebrated for what they've done because they've made an influence on people. Like it's not just a momentary influence. You know, this is something that is going to last the duration of time, and it will last like through generation after generation after generation. Don't want to forget that. You know, I want to celebrate that because you know I highly respect these people, and so like yeah, like it's got to be highly regarded and not forgotten.